work on this ETL. The ETL, or extract, transform, and load the data, will help us to take the data from a source and we put into the proper destination. Now, as you can see here, we have the two tables. Suppose you work in a library, and in that library, you have different books. And these books need to be updated. You can either update the price or you can update the author, means there may be same book name but different authors. So in our case, we will only update the price for our book. So we need to have two tables. Table number 1 is called the books, and table number 2 is called the book history. Any book which you want to update will go into the book history. So we have two tables in our database. So if we want to achieve this update of the book so that we can be able to have the accurate and the efficient data, we need to use the lookup. We will extract these two tables from our database, and we will be able to load them into our integration system so we can make proper analysis on our data. Now let's see. These are the two tables. If I want to select the book table, I say select start from video.books, right? So this is the book which I want to select. We have the following: the price, the title, and the book ID. Now, we create these tables. Let's go to our Visual Studio. So let us create the integration system here. Say integration service project. Choose the project name. I say ETL lookup project, and I choose the destination. Let's me put them here in ETL lab. All right, I create them here. Perfect. The next phase we want to do is to pull up the source, or to drag and drop the source on our control flow and the data flow. So we go to the data flow and we look the source. The source, remember, the source is from the database. We come here from the toolbox, we look the source. Source is the OLEDB. We drag it here. Let's change the name. We call this one data source, or source data. Source data. We have to configure this one. You double click it, you get new, and you select new, and you have to specify what kind of provider do we have. We're using Microsoft ODP provider, and we need to put what? We need to put our database, our server name here, the server name which we have here. So we need to use the server name, and our server name, this is mine, you may have yours different, and then we need to check the tables which we have here. Inside this one, we have the database which we have here is a bookstore DB. We test it, success, okay, and we accept it. We choose the table. The table name is this. We preview. This is the data we have in our table. We look at the columns. Everything is okay, perfect. And then we say, okay, that's a source. Next, we need to look one of the transformer from the toolbox. You come here, look in the common toolbox, you take this transformer, this one. You take this, you drag it, you drop it here, you connect it here, and then you need to configure this one, this lookup. You double click it. We have here the cache. The cache mode, they are like the buffer memory. When we come from the source, we need to buffer those data. So when it is a full cache, means we are caching all the data from the source and we put them into the buffer or the temporary memory. The partial, let's say you want to update some of the part, you will use a partial cache, and then no cache means you don't want to put into the buffer. That's it. OLDB, this is the connection from the database which you're connecting. So specify how to handle the rows, matching no entries. Here we select redirect rows to no match output. All right, you come to the connection, you select the table. Here we select the book history because it's a target table which you want to use. Right? You look at the column here. You need to connect at least one column so that you can be able to fetch your data. So I do the following. This one. And this is the matching. All right. The book which is matched here and the rest also will be, we only have to connect only one, at least one. You say, okay. And then we need to find the destination. Remember, destination is a book history, which we have here. Means we want to take our data, which we have this one here, and we need to put them into our book history. In case we want to update the price, then we don't need to, to struggle. We need to make that changes. We come here to the book history, to the destination. We look to the OLDB. You bring it here. You connect this one here. The output which you want to take, it is this. Look up no match output. Input is from destination itself. You say, okay. You connect the following. You select the table for this. The table is a book history. And you map. You check if they're mapping. Everything is perfect. You say, okay. And then you execute. Perfect. Executed. From source, using a lookup to a destination. Let's check here. If we do the following, let's start from dbo dot book history. This one. Perfect. We have them here. Let's take an example. We want to update. Let's take an example. Suppose you want to update your table, right? Let's say you want to make some modification. Let's say you are updating the price, right? It's, for example, you want to update the price. Let's say you update the price. Let's say means you want to add one more row. Say insert into dbo.books, and then say values. Let's say we have 7, and this is gonna be Happy Life. It's a book, and let's say it is only 150. You set a displays, and then you update the following, right? If you look into the following, let's say if you select the following, we have 7, but if you select this one, you have only 6, so they're not same balance. So if you come to your ETL here and you reload, let's say you run again, Okay, it takes 7 and one more row is added here. Do you get it? 7 now. One more row is added. When you come to your destination here, and you again do this, is a 7, become 7, right? We have how many? 7, 7. 7, 7. That's it. This is the way we can use the lookup. But there will be one more question which I want you to work on them. Let's take an example that you want to update one of the table, one of the value here. Let's say you do this, update dbo dot right. Let's take an example that we want to update some of value here, right? Let's take an example. Sorry, let's take an example. We say update dbo.books, and then you said set, let's say it's an example, set book price to be equal to let's say to 220, where book ID is equal to, let's take an example. Let me put here to 420, where book ID is equal to 6, right? Where book ID is equal to 6. So this one, we updated. If you select the book here, you find that the book ID is changed. Previous was a 400, and now this one is like, look here. Here it's still 400. No matter what, even if you update this one, even if you reroll this one, will be the same. There's no change. There's nothing is changing. Even if you come here and you again check this one is 420, and this one is this price. Now the question is, now how would you be able to update this? Okay, what will be the update? That will be for the next session. I will show you how you can update this.